Shalom, shalom, Yahshua, all praises to Yahshua Mashiach. Indeed, His mercy endures forever. Shalom to the entire family. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to Life or Death. Welcome to Life or Death. Shalom to the entire family. Welcome to Life or Death. As you are coming in, type your name, the city, and the state where you are currently watching us from. As you are coming in, type your name, the city, and the state where you are currently watching us from. Shalom, welcome to Life or Death. Shalom to the entire family, shalom. Let us start with the book of Colossians, the 3rd chapter, and the 17th verse. The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai HaMashiach, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by Him. So everything that we are doing, we must, we should, we have to, and we ought to do it for the Most High, via HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 6. The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 6. HaMashiach said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. For us to have access to the Father, we must go through HaMashiach Yahweh. Let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. The minute we stray away from the commandments, the statutes that the Most High set for us to live by, we ought to expect death. However, if we are keeping the laws of Yah, we must expect the Most High to be on our side to keep us safe. Hence, the name of this show, Life or Death. Shalom to our brother Don Israel in Trinidad and Tobago. Shalom, mighty brother. Abanawa Yahweh Bahashem. HaMashiach Yahweh Shabbatah. Shalom to our dear brother, Brother Denbo in North Carolina. Shalom, my brother, shalom. Shalom to all of you. I see that there are 5 of you watching. You know how this class is. Once you get into the classroom, you have to like or dislike the class. Like or dislike the class. Let's move, let's go. Application of the fruits of the Spirit. What does that mean? What does that entail? Application of the fruits of the Spirit. What do we hear by this title? Let's go to the book of Galatians, the 5th chapter. The book of Galatians is a letter that Paul wrote to our brothers and sisters that were in the city of Galatia. And let's see what he advised them on. Remember, everything that was relevant in the old days are still relevant today. The same spirits that our people dealt with in the old days, those same spirits are still on earth. And we are currently dealing with them. The book of Galatians. Let's add Galatians chapter 1. The book of Galatians chapter 1 and verse 1. Paul, an apostle, not of men, neither by men, but by Hamashiach Yahushua, and the Most High, the Father, who raised him from the dead. Brother Denbo says, putting into practice the works of the fruits of the Spirit. Yeah, putting into practice what we learn from these rules. Yes. Now, in the first verse of Galatians chapter 1, Paul says he's an apostle of the Most High through Hamashiach Yahushua. What can we see from that verse? What can we see? Paul, an apostle, not of men, neither by men, but by Hamashiach Yahushua and the Most High, the Father, who raised him from the dead. The him here represents Hamashiach Yahushua. The Most High raised Hamashiach Yahushua from the dead. What can from death? What can we see in that verse? What can you see? What can that verse itself? What does it disprove? What does it disprove? Because many of us were in the church where we used to hear some garbage called God the Father, the Son, all that nonsense. In that the Most High is divided into three parts, or some garbage that we learned from the church. This verse disproves what? Yes, Don Israel. This verse disproves the Trinity nonsense that we learned from the Bible. Yes, Brother Denbo. Two separate people, two separate beings, the Most High and Hamashiach. They are two different beings. Plain and simple. Verse 1, and all the brethren which are with me unto the churches of Galatia. Now, when you are reading the writings of Paul, he always starts by a salutation. I love this. Paul was a good writer. Paul was somebody that we can say that Paul was a scholar. Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 22. We start at verse 1 all the way to 3. Men, brethren, Acts chapter 22 and verse 1. Men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense, which I make now unto you. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept the more silence, and he said, that was Paul, he was speaking, I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city of Cilicia, yet brought up in the city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers. So Paul was a scholar. He was raised, meaning that he learned from Gamaliel. According to researchers, Gamaliel was was a scholar. He was a doctor of law in that time. So Paul learned from him. So yes, Paul was a scholar. We who are in the truth, we have to make sure that we read. We have to make sure that we know and understand what we are reading. Let's go back to Galatians chapter 5. Now let's go to Galatians chapter 5. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Hamashiach hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. So the sacrificial part of the law where we had to burn animals for the forgiveness of our sins. This is not there anymore. Now let's go to the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering. So now when we sin, what do? We just ask the Most High to forgive us through Hamashiach Yahushua. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Now we ought to ask ourselves, are we applying these in our life? Because the Most High thought, in fact, let's go very quickly to the book of First Chronicles. Sorry, First Kings chapter 8 and verse 61. Now, when Solomon, once the temple was finished, Solomon had to dedicate the temple. And we all know that we are close to the feast of dedication. The feast of dedication is a feast where we dedicate the temple. We have to rededicate the physical temple to the Most High. But this also has a spiritual aspect where we have to rededicate ourselves to the Most High as well. Now we ought to ask ourselves, are we really applying the fruits of the Spirit in our daily life? Israel, now is the time to leave all garbage about theoretical Israelites. Meaning you are only Israelite when you are among your brothers. You are an Israelite only when you are in the congregation or when you are only online on Saturdays logging on or watching a service or watching a class. No, we have to be Israelites 24/7. Meaning that we ought to be practicing Israelites 24/7. Let's go to the book of 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 61. But let's start at verse 57. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 57. The Most High our power be with us, as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us. That is the worst thing that can happen in your life. If the Most High forsakes, if the Most High leaves you. How do we know that? When he turned his back on King Saul, what happened? He went bazooka to the point that the Most High sent an evil spirit on him where he wanted to kill David. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 57. The Most High our power be with us, as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us. We do not want to be in that stage. To live without the Most High on our side. That he may incline our hearts unto him, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, which he commanded our fathers. Verse 59, 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 59. And let these my words, wherewith I have made supplication before the Most High, be nigh unto the Most High our power, day and night. Let us, those of you who have been watching this show, we have been telling you, or we have been advising you to make sure that you incorporate prayer in your daily diet. Meaning, train your brain to say the Lord's Prayer every now and then, or to be constantly in prayer. Because the Lord, in fact, let's see what Paul had to advise the Thessalonians. Remember, in Thessalonica, many of our brothers didn't want to work. Let's see what Paul had to advise all our brothers and sisters that were in Thessalonica. First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 17. Pray without ceasing. If you are able to pray 3 days or 3 times a day, hey, all praises to Allah Mashiach, do it. You can make it 7, all praises to Allah Mashiach, do that. 10, all praises to Allah Mashiach, do that. Because prayer is communication with the Most High through HaMashiach Yahweh. If you are able to communicate with this supreme being, do so. 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 57. The Most High our power be with us, as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us. Verse 58. That he may incline our hearts unto him, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, which he commanded our fathers. And let these words, wherewith I have made supplication before the Most High, be nigh unto the Most High our power, day and night, that he maintain the cause of his servant and the cause of his people, Israel, at all times, as the matter shall require, that all the people of the earth may know that the Most High is Yahweh, and that there is none else. Verse 61. Let your hearts therefore be perfect with the Most High our power, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments as at this day. If you keep the commandments of Yah, it will not be hard for you to apply the fruits of the Spirit in your life. These are the fruits of the Spirit of the Most High via HaMashiach Yahweh. Let's go back to the book of Galatians. This idea that we are just going to read things and leave them alone, no, today is a new day. It is high time for us now to make sure that we apply the fruits of the Spirit in our life. It will not be easy. Yes, we may falter. Yes, we may make mistakes. But understand that a judgment follows 7 times, but he gets back up. The book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. Now, do we keep the commandments of Yah in our life? Do we really love the Most High? Do we really love our brothers and sisters? If we really love one another, we will be able to call one another. Mean that if you really love a brother, when this brother does some nonsense, you will be there to call him up on his nonsense. Paul and Peter had a disagreement. In fact, I see that there are 8 of you watching. What was this? Paul and Peter had a disagreement. What was the disagreement? Remember, Paul, the church is built on Peter, because Peter is the one. Peter was the chief apostle. Paul and Peter had a disagreement. What was the disagreement? I see that there are 8 of you watching. I would like you to tell me, what disagreement did Paul have with Peter? Peter walked with Hamashiach Yahweh. He was the one in charge of all the apostles. Yet Paul, who came way, I would say Paul didn't walk physically with Hamashiach. But he respectfully had a disagreement with Peter. And because he loved Peter and he loved the nation of Israel, he had to confront Peter about that. What was the disagreement that Paul and Peter had? Remember, in this class, we ask questions. We are doing our best to be practicing Israelites. We are doing our best to make sure that with whatever the Most High blesses us with, that we do our best to manifest, that we do our best to show that in spirit and in truth, we are applying the commandments of Yah via Hamashiach in our life. Yes, what was the disagreement? Mother Denbo says, I don't know. But Mother Denbo asked a brother to help you. Mother Don Israel, what was the disagreement? Yes, Paul and Peter had a disagreement, or Paul had a disagreement with Peter. What was the disagreement? In fact, let's get it. Let's go to the book of Galatians, chapter 2. And we will start at verse 11. Let's see what the disagreement was. The book of Galatians, because if we say that we are practicing the fruit of the Spirit, we have to love one another. And because we love one another, we cannot allow, if you love a brother, you will not allow this brother to sin. If you see that he is on a wrong path, you will do your best to veer him into the right path. Let's see the disagreement that we have. Whether Don Israel says, Salakia King, I do not know either. Let's see the disagreement. Let's go to the book of Galatians chapter 2. Galatians chapter 2, let's start at verse 11. Galatians chapter 2, verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face. I withstood him to the face because he was to be blamed. Meaning that I went in front of him to address him because I had to put the blame on him. Let's see why. Because before that certain came from James, that he did it with the Gentiles, meaning that he did it with the Gentiles, but when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision. And the other Jews dissembled likewise with him, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away with the dissimulation. What does that mean? Meaning those brothers and sisters that came, they were Israelites, but they were not keeping the laws, meaning that they were basically converts. They were Israelites that were following after the customs of Greece and Rome. But they came into the church, meaning that they repented. Paul, before the brothers that came from Jerusalem showed up, he was eating with those converts. But the minute that those brothers from Jerusalem showed up, he withdrew himself from those converts, to the point that even Barnabas had to follow that nonsense, that the example that Peter gave him by not eating, by not assembling himself with those converts. Let me give you an example very quick. For instance, let's say Brother Denbo is a repentant Israelite. Basically, he didn't used to keep the laws. Now that he is a convert, I'm talking to him. Basically, I'm eating with him. Basically, I associate myself with him. But the minute that Brother Don Israel, who is a practicing Israelite, shows up, I withdraw myself from Denbo and stay with Don Israel. Guess what? Those brothers that were with me, they also follow me and leave those converts by themselves. So Paul had to rebuke him for that. If you are able to sit with them when those brothers who are in Jerusalem are not there, you should be able to sit with them, to eat with them the same way, whether those from Jerusalem show up or not. Paul had to blame him for that. Guess what? Barnabas followed the same nonsense that Peter did. Let me read it again. Galatians chapter 2 and verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face because he was to be blamed. For before that certain came from James, he did it with the Gentiles. But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision. And the other Jews dissembled themselves with him likewise, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away with the dissimulation. So a slew of other brothers followed Paul. They followed Peter in that nonsense. That is why we have to read the Bible, to make sure that all the good things that our people do, we apply them in our life, and all the nonsense, we leave them alone. Verse 14. But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter before them all, if thou, being a Jew, livest after the manner of the Gentiles, and not as do the Jews, why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews? Paul says, but when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, the word gospel means good news, I said unto Peter, before them all, if thou being a Jew, if you are a practicing Israelite, livest after the manner of the Gentiles, and you are living the same way the Gentiles are living, because remember, there was a major problem between Israelites that were keeping the law that came from Jerusalem and those that were in the diaspora that used to follow after the customs of other countries. So there was, like, we can say that there was basically, we can say there was a little friction between them. Paul was able to bridge this because that's why he said, because Paul, he went to them and he put himself in the level to understand them. That is why if a brother comes into the truth today, if he doesn't have fringes today, I'm not going to be hard on him. Yes, I will signal that to him, but I will not be hard on him. But the next day, or the second week, or the third week, if I don't see him with fringes, I may go hard on him. Meaning that I may be stronger in my rebuke to him. Yes, Brother Denbo says all these Gentiles are, yes, brother, they were Israelites. They were Israelites that used, they were Israelites that they were repentant Israelites, meaning that they were not born in the law. Many of them were following after the Greeks and after the Romans. So once Paul came to them, they repented and started to follow after the law. When you read the Bible, the term Gentiles have two connotations. It may refer to non-Israelites. It may also refer to Israelites who used to practice the customs of other nations. Yes, Brother Denbo, yes, meaning that he had to rebuke Peter. And he did that with respect. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy. Israel, yes, we know that life is hard. But oftentimes we are the engineers of our nonsense. Let us do our best to make sure that we control what we can control, and what we cannot control, we leave them alone. Brother Daniel says, Adenbola, Don is not my real name, King. Well, brothers, I do not know how things are, but we may have to give you some Israelite names. For Brother Denbo, my Israelite name for him would be Charity. If he chooses another name, that's fine. But in my book, his name is Charity. Peace. Many of us, we have no peace. We do not want to. The Bible says, if it is possible to live peaceably with every man. We make a big deal out of any nonsense. We ought to stop this. Oftentimes, we know that we are up to no good. Oftentimes, we know that we are up to no good. Oftentimes, we know that what we are going to say will offend our brothers or our sisters, but we say it anyway. And then later on, we ask for forgiveness. It makes no sense. The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 18. If it be possible, as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men. Well, brother than Israel, my dear brother, you write, I see that you are always present. So this meaning that a brother who is always punctual, who is always on time, who is always there, that is your characteristic. So I'm working on a name for you, my dear brother. And once I have everything set up, I will let you know, brothers, what they are and give you everything. Brother than Bo and brother than Israel. I'm working on these names for you, my dear brothers. Romans chapter 12, verse 18. If it be possible, as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men. Shalom, Sister Lisa. Shalom, my dear sister. Sister Lisa, are you living in peace with your fellow brothers and sisters? Welcome, my dear brother, brother in Israel. Sister Lisa, are you living in peace with your fellow brothers and sisters? We have a major problem in Israel where we see each other as enemies. It makes no sense. That is why many of us, we cannot prosper in our endeavors. Why? Because we allow too many people to live rent-free in our mind. We have a bone to pick with any and everybody. No, it makes no sense. You have to start releasing some brothers and sisters from your mind for you to be at peace with yourself. First, to be at peace with the Most High, to a Mashiach, and to be at peace with yourself. Long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, long suffering. We have to be patient. Meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Many of us, we go from 0 to 60 very quick. It makes no sense, Israel. We should know how to control our anger. Yes, the Bible says, be ye angry and sin not. But let's get it very quick. Ephesians. Now, the book of Ephesians was a letter from Paul to our brothers and sisters that were in Ephesus. Now, remember that the church in Ephesus, Paul, the Mashiach, had to address them as well in the book of Revelation. Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. In fact, let's start Ephesians chapter 4. Let's start at verse 22. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That he put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. We have to renew our mind. Nonsense that used to give us headache in the old days, we have to leave that alone. Now we knew ourselves in the Most High through our Mashiach Yahushua. And that he put on the new man, which is after the Most High, is created in righteousness and true holiness. In righteousness, in keeping the laws of Yah, and in true holiness, meaning that you are set apart. You are set apart. When you are set apart, When you allow the Most High to make you shine, meaning that you are keeping the laws, people on your plantation, people who are around you, they will see it and they will talk about it. They will say, you know what, this brother, brother Dembo, sister Lisa, brother Don Israel, these guys, they are not the same. Something is changing. For instance, if brother Dembo used to be a hothead, he used to be angry all the time, now he is calm. Now he counts 10 times before he says something, before he reacts. Brother Denbo, before he starts letting you know what is going on, he takes his time to make sure that what he is going to say, he says it in a way that is according to the laws of Yah, so that his words can be accompanied with grace and salt. In the old days, he used to cuss all the time. Now, guess what? Now he polishes his language. He polishes his conversations. Verse 25. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not, and let not the sun go down upon your wrath. I want you to explain that verse to me, verse 26. The Most High, through HaMashiach Yahushua, inspired Paul to write this in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. What does that mean? What is the meaning of that statement? What is the meaning of that verse? I see that there are 8 of you watching. I want you to let me know what this verse says here. What the Most High is communicating with us, to us here in that verse. Be ye angry. And sin not. Colin, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. What is the Most High saying here? What is he telling us in that verse? We are in the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Brother Denbo says, if you get angry, do your best to be level-headed. Brother Denbo, remember, you are responding to a question, so all these question marks, take them out, replace them by a period. Sister Lisa says, you can get angry, but do not harm others with your words or actions. The Most High will handle it. Yes, but he says, be angry. Yes, yes, you can be mad. If something is, if you are not happy with something, yes, you can be mad. You can be angry. But while you are angry, don't let your anger overtake you to the point that now you are trying to kill your brother, or now you are trying to harm your brother, or now you are trying to go against the laws of Yah. And let not, Brother Donizio says, it is okay to be angry, but don't break the laws. Yep. And let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Meaning that because once the sun goes down, we are in a new day. Remember, anything that you don't take care of, anything that you don't fix, it will become bigger. For instance, when a Komodo dragon bites a wildebeest, the wound does not heal. That wound festers, meaning that it gets worse. And later on, that poison will kill that wildebeest. So if you are not level-headed, if you do not control your anger, that anger, you may start that anger, you may start having it today. Before you know it now, 10 years later, you are still talking about that. 10 years later, you are planning how to take your revenge. But oftentimes, many of us, what do? We always want to harm one another. Israel, let's go back to Galatians. Let us do our best to make sure that we are practicing Israelites. Meaning that we are Israelites that are applying the laws of Yah in our life. Meaning that when people see us, they can see that we are keeping the laws of Yah. We are applying the laws of Yah in our life. Many of us were in school. The teachers, they knew that we understood a subject when they saw our work. For instance, children, for them to learn, you have to show them your work. If you say 5 mangoes plus 5 candies equal 10, you have to show them. Put 5 mangoes and 5 candies, then count them for them to see the number 10. When you do that, they will learn quickly. It is in that very same manner. We have to show that we are applying the fruits of the Spirit in our life. The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, goodness. Many of it is in Israel. We have to be gentle. Sometimes we don't have to be trying to show that we are. Don't be puffed up. We have to practice modesty. Yes, you may be in a high status in life, or you may be in a high status in America or in any country that you are in. Understand that you should not let this take you out of the truth to the point that you think that you are better than everybody else. No, don't do that. Do not let that spirit overtake you. That spirit, that prideful spirit, do not let it overtake you. The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 23. Meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. You have to know how to respond to people. You have to know how to moderate your language, how to respond to people. Why? Let's go very quick to the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 1. The book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Don't be a pushover, no. But you have to know how to prevent fight. You have to know how to de-escalate a situation. Psalm 133. So Psalm 72, verse 18 first. The book of Psalm, chapter 72 and verse 18. Blessed be the Most High Power, the power of Israel, the power of our dear brother Don Israel. Blessed be the Most High Power, the power of Israel, the power of our dear brother Denbo. Blessed be the Most High Power, the power of Israel, the power of our dear sister Lisa. Blessed be the Most High Power, the power of Israel, the power of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Blessed be the Most High Power, the power of Israel, the power of our elder Emram Israel. Blessed be the Most High Power, the power of Israel, the power of our dear sister Deborah Dennis in Chatham, Massachusetts. Blessed be the Most High Power, the power of Israel, the power of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Psalm 133. Psalm 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that went down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there Yahweh commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Thank you, Brother Lord Israel. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Thank you to all of you. Know that for us to further the gospel, we do need your help. Please donate via $THEELOZ or Zelle through Help and Group at gmail.com. Now, you all know that I have to be transparent and I have to be real with you. If it is Yahweh Mashiach, from the 1st of January 2025 to the 31st day of March 2025, the Bishopship Department of Village of Zion is going to hold a fundraising for the school. What are we going to do? I am glad you asked, Sister Lisa. I am glad you asked, Brother Denbo. I am glad you asked, Brother Don Israel. What are we going to do? Across the street, we have a storage room. We are going to empty that storage room to sell everything that we have and bring the money to the elders. We have a donation box here. We'll put that money there. Every week, I'll give you an update on how much money that we collect and give to the school. Also, those of you who are able to take part, I want you to do that as well. Now, once you donate, let us know so that we can call you and thank you. Also, let your friends and relatives know. If those friends and relatives donate, give us their phone number so that we can call them as well. We are firm believers in gratefulness. So it makes no sense if you donate money or if you donate to this ministry for us not to call you and thank you. It is not right. It will not be right if we do it this way. Therefore, when you donate, let us know so that we can call you and thank you. Shalom Yahshua. May the most Brother Denbo says, do you have a Zelle? Yes, Brother Denbo. That this account, helpandgroup@gmail.com, that is for the Zelle account. Sister Lisa says, I want to donate food, clothes, and money, but I do not know where to send the items. Yes, my dear sister, call this number. This number is for Chief Minister Shalama. Call him at this number, my dear sister. Take it right now. for Chief Minister Shalama. Dial 954-279-7093. To reach Chief Minister Shalama, call him at 954-279-7093. Israel, know that we are your servants. We are here to serve you. May the Most High Mashiach keep you safe and give us a new spirit for us to be blameless and sinless in his eyes and in the eyes of our fellow brothers and sisters. Shalom. Thank you very much to all of you. Shalom.